When I saw my wife with another man. The story opens on Tunde and his wife Amara, a picture-perfect Christian couple. Tunde is a successful architect and Amara is a kind-hearted woman who runs a small business. Their home is a sanctuary of peace, filled with love, laughter, and prayer. They are the couple everyone in their church, the Redeemed House of Praise, looks up to. Tunde often praises God for the gift of his wife, sharing testimonies of her unwavering faith and support. He believes their marriage is a testament to God's perfect plan. The opening scenes are full of these moments. Tunde and Amara praying together in their living room, sharing a quiet, loving dinner, and Amara supporting him through a stressful work project. Their connection is palpable, built on a foundation of faith and trust that seems unbreakable. The first crack in this perfect world appears subtly. Tunde notices Amara becoming distant. She receives strange phone calls she immediately ends when he enters the room. She comes home late from errands with vague explanations. Tunde, being a man of faith, dismisses his fears as a lack of trust. He prays about it, reminding himself that his wife is a woman of God and his faith in her should be absolute. But the knot of anxiety in his stomach tightens. He begins to feel a cold distance growing between them, a chasm that prayer alone does not seem to bridge. The joyful prayers they once shared now feel like a hollow ritual. The first major hook arrives with a sudden, devastating blow. One rainy Tuesday, Tunde leaves work early to surprise Amara. He buys her favorite flowers and drives to her business, a new boutique she recently opened. The shop is empty. He tries calling her phone, but it goes straight to voicemail. His heart pounding, he drives back home, his mind racing with possibilities. As he turns onto their street, he spots Amara's car parked a few houses down. His mind goes blank. He pulls over, his heart hammering against his ribs. He gets out and through the rain-streaked window of the car, he sees his wife sitting in the passenger seat. She is laughing, her head thrown back, with a man Tunde doesn't recognize. The sight of her laughing with someone else, with a pure joy she no longer seems to have for him, feels like a physical punch. He stands frozen in the rain, the flowers a wet, crumpled mess in his hand. He watches as the man reaches out and gently wipes a drop of water from her cheek. In that moment, Tunde's world shatters. The betrayal is visceral, a fire searing through his soul. He doesn't confront her. Instead, he turns and walks away, the rain hiding the tears of a man whose faith and love just crumbled into dust. In the days that follow, Tunde is a ghost in his own home. He can't eat, he can't sleep, and he can't pray. The silence between them and Amara is deafening. He is consumed by rage and pain, his mind replaying the image of her with that other man. The weight of the wages of sin is death feels suffocating. His spiritual foundation cracks under the weight of this betrayal. He begins to question God. Why, Lord? Was my faith not enough? Did I not serve you well? He falls into a deep, dark depression. A man who once preached about God's light, now living in a shadow. His life's work at the architecture firm suffers. His friends from church try to reach out, but he pushes them away, unable to confess the shame that has consumed him. He feels he is no longer worthy of God's grace or his community's respect. He believes his marriage is over, and with it, his life as he knew it. He begins to entertain that thoughts, feeling abandoned by both his wife and his God. The turning point comes when Pastor Ifeanyi, a wise older man who has mentored Tunde, shows up at his door. He tells Tunde that he sees the storm in his soul and that he has been praying for him. Tunde breaks down and confesses everything, his voice raw with pain. Pastor Ifeanyi listens with compassion, without judgment. He reminds Tunde of the biblical truths he used to preach to others, that God's love is unconditional and his forgiveness is for all. Just as Tunde is beginning to find a flicker of hope, Pastor Ifeanyi delivers the shocking revelation. He asks Tunde to listen to Amara's side of the story before he makes any final judgment. Reluctantly, Tunde agrees. The truth is revealed in a series of emotional flashbacks. Amara was not having an affair. The man Tunde saw her with was a doctor, and Amara has been secretly battling a terminal illness. She had been seeing the doctor regularly for treatments she didn't want to tell Tunde about. She was protecting him. The strange phone calls were from the hospital. The late nights were from therapy sessions. The reason she seemed distant was not because of a lack of love, but because she was in so much physical and emotional pain from the illness that she was struggling to face each day. She did not want to burden her husband with the diagnosis, fearing it would crush him and their marriage. The scene Tunde witnessed in the car was the doctor telling her that the treatment was working and that her cancer was in remission. She was laughing with pure joy and relief. The tears she was shedding were not of sorrow, but of gratitude to God for a second chance at life. The doctor's gentle touch was one of a friend celebrating a miracle. The full weight of the truth hits Tunde with the force of a tidal wave. His anger and pain are replaced by a profound wave of guilt and shame. He had doubted his wife, his faith, and his God, all for a lie his own mind had created. He falls to his knees and cries out to God for forgiveness. The couple begins the difficult journey of reconciliation. They attend counseling with Pastor Ifeanyi, who guides them through scripture on trust, forgiveness, and healing. Tunde learns that faith is not a shield against all pain, but a light to guide him through the darkness. He realizes his judgment was a product of his own fear and not a reflection of his wife's heart. He must now seek her forgiveness for his lack of faith and for the pain his suspicion caused. The story ends with a powerful, redemptive scene. Tunde and Amara are back in their living room, not as the perfect couple they once were, but as two broken people made whole through God's grace. Tunde gets on his knees, not in prayer, but in genuine humility, and asks Amara for her forgiveness. She accepts, tears streaming down her face, and they embrace in a moment of pure, raw grace. The new beginning for their marriage is not based on a superficial perfect image, but on the true foundation of radical forgiveness and a deeper, stronger faith in God. The final shot is of them together, hand in hand, looking at a beautiful new sun rising outside their window, a promise that a life saved through him is a life full of eternal hope.